Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at some inspiration for food vendors. Now these are vendors that are going to be popping up at local vendor events, festivals, farmers markets, pop-up shops. Basically, what I want you to take away from this video is inspiration so that you can create your own booth as a food vendor that will stand out amongst all of the other vendors at your event. Okay, so this first vendor is actually a bakery of some sort. They sell a variety of sweet treats, and you can see they have a variety of display cases, which is nice. And I love their color palette. You see shades of pink and white and even black on their sign. And then on their signs, they have two signs. So they have one on the table and then they have the stand-up sign. And both signs clearly display the name of the store, and they even have the social media handle, which is great because if I'm a customer who's taking a video, walking by, and maybe I ordered from them, love their product, and I'm at home later and I'm like, oh, what was the name of that brand? I can look at the video I took and be like, oh yeah, let me go follow them and find out what other vendor events they're gonna do in the future. All right, this next vendor, similar color palette, and what I also love about this vendor is they have the variety of different display stands available as well. And with this vendor, you can see that they actually have chalkboards where they write out the name of the food item, which is great because maybe you're mixing up your options at each vendor event, so you don't want to print out permanent signs, but you're able to show the customer what it is, and maybe if they have allergies, you can include things like that. So I think that's really great. I also love that they have branded, I think there's stickers on each product, so you know, if you order something and then you take it home, you can see the branding, the sticker, maybe even the name on there. You also see they had QR codes, which we'll talk about in a second. Now this next vendor, they've got a little bit of a different color palette. You can see they've got different shades of purple and somewhat of a purple carpet, kind of like red carpet theme going on here, where customers can stand in line between the ropes. And with this vendor, I will say, like, I do love that they have a distinct color palette, and you can see they've got some branding going on. But I don't know if it's just because the video clips I took, maybe they had a sign somewhere that I missed, but they have this sign in the back. You see there's a woman on their sign, and I'm assuming that's their founder, their owner, but I don't see the name of the company, the store, anywhere. And again, maybe it's just not in my footage, but I do think that that's such a necessity to have your store name clearly visibly displayed so that people can find your information, look you up online, and see what other vendor events you're doing, or even some customer might have loved your food and want to see if you offer catering services or whatever else. So having the store name, it's really important, because if you're at future vendor events and they're like, oh, I had that food at the last event, it was so good, I want to have it again, you know? But if you don't have the store name, how would they know it's you again? Okay, so this next vendor clearly displays the name of their store, which is great. And I do love this vendor booth as well. So you can see they've got bright colors, so fun. Clearly they've got a great deal of branding going on. Lots of decor on the table, but not in an overwhelming way by any means. They've got the big sign and they've got the backdrop in the back, and it looks like they even have a table for more supplies of some sort in the back. And they've got all of their products listed on that back sign. They've got a variety of different display cases. They've got the QR codes. Told you I'd talk about the QR codes in a minute. So QR codes, it's 2024. You need to have an easy way for your customers to access your social media and your website. So QR codes are the perfect way to go this day and age. Customers can quickly, you can see this customer is actually doing it. It's so funny. I didn't plan to time this right. You also see how friendly these vendors are. They had no idea why I was filming them, but yet they were so nice and warm and welcoming, which is exactly what you want to be when you are sitting at a vendor booth. Because if you're just kind of sitting there like, and you're bored out of your mind and you're just not having a good time, no one's gonna want to come to check out your booth. People do not want to shop with you if you look like you're not very friendly or welcoming. So you want to have a positive attitude, smile, be engaging, invite customers in, chat them up, things like that. I could go on and on. I think I have another video somewhere on this channel where I talk more about kind of those tips and tricks. But needless to say, bottom line, you want to be warm and welcoming. Now this next vendor, I love their booth. They've also got some strong branding, a fun color palette, a variety of display cases, signs that clearly display what their products are, and what's most important, what I love most of all from this vendor is that they offer samples. Now, I will tell you, just coming from a customer perspective, when I've been at different festivals and I'm not participating as a vendor, if I go up to a booth and they have samples, I'm like 75% more likely to actually order something from them than if they don't have samples. So 10 out of 10 recommend having samples if you sell food. Your customers will be much more likely to actually make an order from you if they can try it out first. And it's kind of like, oh, well, I just took a sample from you, and they kind of feel more obligated to actually purchase from you if they weren't necessarily interested prior. That's not going to be true for every customer, but I can say that's true of a lot of people. So 100% recommend having samples. It will truly be a game changer. Now this next brand, they have more of a neutral color palette going on, which, you know, if that's part of their brand strategy, maybe that makes sense for them. They do have some signs and information about their food, their product, their store. And I will say they do have a sign in the back that has the name of their store, but I don't know if you noticed, the sign's kind of falling over. And I will just say, like, from a customer perspective, if I'm walking around a vendor booth that has a ton of different stores, I might not be as likely to choose to come up to this store in particular because it just feels a little bit unprofessional. And I will say that I know from experience as a vendor myself, these days are long and hard and stressful and things go wrong and sometimes your command strips don't work. But you know, it's all part of having that aesthetically pleasing booth to actually attract people to come and check out your booth. It is important to look as professional as possible. And lastly, this vendor is actually a bar, and they have 2 cocktails they're offering, and they have a sign that lists out exactly what those 2 cocktails are and what's in them. I love their decor. I love that backdrop. It's got a neon sign. It's got a floral, flower, sunflower, variety flower theme. Love it. I almost want to go back there and see if I can take a picture. And then in addition to that, they have Venmo QR codes for tips. And then I think there was another option, or maybe that was the social media. But I do love that as a customer. I don't always have cash on me, but I do want a tip. And sometimes when you're paying for card, they may or may not have the tip option. So I do love that that's available, and kind of reminds you like, hey, we appreciate tips. So I do love this setup. I love everything about how they have the name clearly displayed. I like the color palette. I like everything they have going on. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions at all. And if you're looking for more inspiration, I have several more pop-ups planned this spring. So if you are interested in seeing part 2, I have some outdoor pop-ups that I'm doing and different types, you know, everything from festivals to farmers markets, things like that. So feel free to comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see part 2 with additional options available for more inspiration. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps me out. I share all of my favorite tips and tricks for participating as vendors at these different types of vendor events, pop-up shows, farmers markets, you name it. And with that, I will see you guys next time.